everybody, it's Empress, and this is going to be my first review of 2021. I haven't done one yet this year, so I'm really excited. We're going to talk about a great movie. It's not a new movie, but it's a new movie on Netflix, and it's a movie I really want you guys to check out. So let's get into my review. So the new movie that I just watched is called Cutthroat City. It's on Netflix right now. I think it's at number 1 right now. Last night, I think it was at number 5, right? So already it's moving up in rank, and it just aired on Netflix not too long ago, probably within the last 5 days. It's directed by RZA. If you're not sure who RZA is, go check him out. He's a phenomenal artist, musician. He was a part of the Wu-Tang Clan. If you're not sure who the Wu-Tang Clan is, you might be too young for this video. But they're both great, and he's awesome. I love his music. I love Wu-Tang Clan. And RZA is an even more phenomenal filmmaker. He makes a lot of great films, and you can always tell it's one of his works, which I love. I love that he has his own unique style, right? So let's get into what I think about the movie. I'm going to give you in a nutshell. It had my emotions here. I was all over the place, and at the end, I was sobbing, crying. And I hope that's not to stop you guys from watching the movie. I think this is a great movie for you guys to watch. It low-key reminded me a little bit of Set It Off in a sense, and that's the part. So we'll talk about this. You know, my reviews are spoilers, so spoiler alert: people die in this movie. Didn't mean to be so candid with that, but that's what happens. And if you've seen Set It Off, you know at the end people die in that movie. So that's why I say it kind of reminds me of that. But this movie is jam-packed with some heavy hitters. We have Shameik Moore, who plays Blink. He was in Dope. If you haven't seen Dope, another great thing that you should go check out. Demetrius Shipp played Miracle. This guy played Tupac in All Eyes on Me. I've never seen All Eyes on Me, but when I saw this young man, I said, whoa, he looks just like Tupac. We have Denzel Whitaker, who played Andre. He played in Black Panther. He was the young Forrest Whitaker. We have Wesley Snipes. We have Kenan Johnson, who played Junior. We have T.I. Terrence Howard. Ethan Hawke was in this. And my baby Isaiah Washington. Y'all, I've loved Isaiah Washington ever since I've seen Love Jones. Don't judge me. It's just something about his tall chocolate friend. Ooh, y'all, I love me some Isaiah Washington. And we also have the young lady who was married to Blink, which is Kat Graham. She played Demira. So the movie starts off at Blink and Demira's wedding, and Blink is with his boys, Miracle, Andre, and Junior, and they're just talking about their life and everything that's going on. We see that Blink is an aspiring artist. He wants to have this comic book, I want to say. I can't remember if it's a comic book or not. But it's a graphic novel. He's drawing pictures for it. I really want to say it's a comic book. Neither here nor there. They get married. Beautiful backyard wedding. And then right after, Katrina hits. So this movie is based in, the setting is based in New Orleans, the 9th Ward. If you're not sure what the 9th Ward is, it is the overpopulated, under-supported area where majority of the Black people live. And after Katrina, the 9th Ward, because it's not one of the prominent cities or affluent cities, they didn't really support the 9th Ward as much. So these young gentlemen are trying to live life in Cutthroat City. The 9th Ward is Cutthroat City. They trying to get through it. And we see that Blink is trying to do everything that he can to support his child. They have a young boy and his new wife in their home, and he's trying to support this and go about things the right way. The right way wasn't working. Every time he went up to an interview or whatever the case may be, he was denied. They said that they didn't like his work, which, side note, whichever artist they used for this movie, for you, yes, artwork was exceptional. So if you're an artist, this is another reason why you should check out this movie. For the people who know me and know that I'm an artist, my artist friends were here, this is a great movie. You will see some amazing work, and you see the struggle that artists go through. He's trying to get his work out there, trying to be more mainstream, so to speak, and to be able to make money for his family the right way. His wife worked as a hospice caregiver or a nurse or something of that sort, and that's foreshadowing to what's to come later, right? So they're trying to make it work. Nothing's working, and Blink was at his wit's end, so he decided to, him and his boys decided to get pulled into Cousin Bass, which is T.I.'s character. Cousin Bass is the cousin of Demira, his wife. So he's cousins to T.I., but T.I.'s like, he's a hothead. He's crazy. He don't care about nothing. He said, I don't care that you married into my blood. You're just another nigga at the end of the day, right? So, my problem with T.I.'s character was, I think they were trying to give him vitiligo, and the way that they painted the patches on his face just didn't sit right. It wasn't natural to me. So that was the only thing that I did not like, besides he talked so much. So I felt like he talked entirely too much and unnecessarily. I also think T.I. talks too much sometimes, unnecessarily, just like to hear himself speak. And I felt like that's how Cousin Bass was in this movie. But they got roped in with him trying to make money. They ended up robbing a casino. The thing is, the heist that they were doing was double crossed. So when they were coming out at the exact time, there was a shootout, right? And Andre, which was played by Denzel Whitaker, was killed early on in the movie. And I noticed, I was like, dang, your character's always killed. Like, even though you per se weren't killed in Black Panther, your older version of your character was. So I just feel like, why you always killed? Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. So he was killed. They was doing the funeral, doing everything like that. Isaiah Washington was the funeral director, I think is what they're called. Or they called him the preacher. But he was just as shicey and under the table as everybody else in this movie. These boys were probably the only non-shicey people in this movie, even though they were pushed to that point. These boys and, Demira and things like that. Everybody else, like the councilman, T.I.'s character, were all just shicey. They were doing stuff under the table. They were not pretty much upstanding citizens. But they get robbed for the money that they made. They only came out with like so much money. But T.I. didn't care. He was like, you owe me my money, yada, yada, yada. They came up with a plan to try to get rid of T.I. So they got rid of all of his people that was around him, but Blink spared T.I., right? He didn't want to kill him. He's not a killer. They had to end up going on the run, and Blink had to leave his now newlywed wife, telling her to go somewhere else so that T.I. wouldn't kill his own cousin, which he would have, which is crazy. So they went on the run and ended up going to Wesley Snipes' character's house, which is Lawrence, that is Blink's father, who lives kind of sort of off grid, right? He lives off grid. I think he's a fisherman, catches catfish or something like that. But they ended up staying there, and they said, well, we still need money. So they started robbing some low-end casinos, just making some money, making a name for themselves. The crazy thing is, as they were robbing people, all they did was put a pantyhose over their face, so we can still see your face. You had a hood and pantyhose over your face. I can still see your face. Like, not even a black pantyhose. You got the sheer kind with holes in them. So we knew these boys were a little touched up here. They weren't smart in any aspect, because this is not what they're normally doing. They're sweet, innocent boys just trying to live life in the Ninth Ward and make it through. So they end up robbing all these places, can't go back to the Ninth Ward, and Demira knew the councilman, which played Ethan Hawke's character. She knew him because she was his wife's hospice caregiver. So she went to him pleading for the safety and the return of her husband and his friends. So Ethan Hawke reached out to the people he needed to reach out to so that these boys could come home. The person that they was reaching out to was Saints. Saints is played by Terrence Howard. Y'all, I kid you not. When I saw that, I busted out laughing because I was like, not Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard was like the head top dog kingpin type of guy, which was cool. So they ended up buying their freedom. Ethan Hawke gave some money to buy their freedom. He was able to help these boys out because he knew Saint. Him and Saint worked together on their council. There was also Rob Morgan. Rob Morgan was in the movie as well. He played Courtney. Crazy Courtney. Yes, a lot of heavy hitters in this movie. So they bought their place back into their home. Now, mind you, there was a what's her name? Her name was Lucinda Valdez or something. She reminded me of Angela Valdez as much as she got on my damn nerves. But she played the cop trying to get everything figured out. They ended up being able to spare the boys because the councilman said, hey, these boys are in trouble. It has nothing to do with them. Even though they were the ones that robbed everything, it's not to do with them. I need them to be safe. And he did it essentially for Demira because she knew his wife. Well, she ended up telling Blink, she met up with Blink and said, hey, you know, I went to school with you. I've seen your artwork and your pencil will get you further than a gun will. Right? Cool. So they got their second chance. Fast forward. It shows that the boys are still struggling. Miracle is sleeping in a car. Junior is saddened and depressed because his dog got killed when they tried to kill Cousin Bass. And Blink still don't have no money for his family, right? So they come up with this whole idea that they're going to actually rob the FEMA camp. Well, it went south. It went very bad. And in the last 16 minutes, everybody is confused about what happened in the end. So how that he left the movie was for us as the viewer to make our own opinion of it, right? There's two separate endings. I choose to pick the ending that I'm going to say secondly because it made me feel better at night, okay? Because I watched this night and I couldn't go to sleep, but the second ending made me feel better. So the first ending is the heist of the FEMA camp went really south. They all were killed, and Demira actually saw Blink getting killed on national TV. It was a firing squad, and I noticed anytime when it comes to Black people in the criminal aspect, the cops line up and shoot to kill. Everybody doesn't have to shoot them, right? One shot, cool. You don't have to shoot to kill. You can shoot to maim. But when it comes to white people, they're good. We don't need to shoot them. They're okay. We want to make sure that they're comfortable. It was a side note, neither here nor there. So that is how that ending went. But then right after, it shows Blink at his art showcase of his story. With all his artwork up, he's talking to Lucinda and she says, see, I told you that your pencil will take you further. So it shows that he actually followed his dream and made it. Then right after, it pans to Demira taking their son to go meet Wesley and move in. So it's like, did he die or did he not die? But there was some ending credits where it showed Miracle is now working with Ethan Hawke. So it showed that Miracle was alive and Junior was alive. So we're like, so that must mean that Blink is alive. And that's what we just like to believe. I like to believe that Blink is still alive and that he followed his dream as an artist and that he was able to make it out of Cutthroat City with his family and support his family. And that in that last scene where she was going to see Wesley Snipes, so she was just going to introduce her son to his grandfather because Blink and Wesley ended up ending on bad terms, right? So I choose to believe that Blink is still alive. I choose to believe that the boys did not try to rob the FEMA camp. And I am so in love with this movie. I just want to watch it again and again and again. And I want you guys to watch it too. So y'all go watch this movie. I implore you to go watch this movie. Comment what you think about it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. But I promise you that you will. I promise you that you will. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And be on the lookout for more things from Empress TV. Bye, everybody.